Welcome to A Woman's Brew, where women talk about beer. In today's episode, we've advanced on our admin and are submitting our self-appraisals as it's the end of quarter one. I'm Joanne, and this is Tori.
Hello.
And we're two beer-loving women on a mission to get more people drinking and talking about great beer. Come join us. I feel like that opening today was very much around like the admin that you do at work.
Yeah, well, it is. We're getting our admin in. We've got to get, like, got to start crunching for that Q1. If you want the pay rise or whatever, you got to get your admin in. Make that paper.
So we've been doing a bit of admin. We've been checking on our goals and seeing how we've been doing.
We have, and we already... This is a great time to segue into Ko-fi, isn't it?
It is.
We have already given a rundown of the beers on our top 10 list of breweries to buy and try from. We did a bonus episode of that, and we just did a quick run through of that and everything that we had done. And since then, we have also ticked more off, which won't be covered in there. We'll save that for a Q2 review.
Yeah. But
we're not going to say what we've tried and haven't tried. You're just going to have to go. I mean, we might say it by mistake, but we're not going to run through it. So if you want to hear that, you're going to have to check it out. Joe, where can they go find that sweet content?
If you want to find our rundown of how we're doing with our breweries of the year and how many we have bought or drunk so far, you can go to Ko-fi, and if you donate a little bit there and buy some beer, you can get all of our bonus content, and you'll find that list there. You can go and watch it. We talk about all the different breweries that we've either drunk or bought so far.
We tried one that's on our joint list.
We tried one that we both wanted. And we talk about that beer for you. So it's
I just dropped a hint
episode.
if you're watching the video. So if you're not watching the video, then I don't know. You're not going to know.
You're going to have to go back and watch the video. Or go and watch the bonus episode on Ko-fi. The link for that is in the show notes. It's on all of our bios. Go and drop us a little donation, and then you get access to all of our bonus episodes for a full 30 days. And that means that we can continue to make this wonderful content, and you can tell us what content you would like to see. So go do that now, and then come back and continue listening to this episode.
And now. That you're like, go right now. But yeah, I mean, it's not going to take away from the weekly content you're already getting. It's just the supplemental fun stuff that we'll kind of usually tack on to the episodes we're doing, like this one. Yeah. So yeah.
I'm going to let you go first on this one and tell us about your personal goals, because I feel like you had more personal beer goals.
I did. I had 5 goals, but I guess the question is, do we want to crack a beer first, or do we?
Shall
want to
we?
wait
I think we should. So then we've got one we're sipping on. So we'll get to this in a moment in the episode as well. But we are taking part in a beer challenge, and we have picked beers that work as part of the beer challenge.
Yeah, let's not say why. Let's just go with it.
Tori, what beer have you got?
I have hard pour nitro breakfast out of the Broken Dream. Hard pour Broken Dream. So the nitro Broken Dream from Siren.
And I have got a barrel aged snow top from Old Dairy, RIP, because
that's impressive.
So the tap room's still going, and I believe they are going to contract brew out some of their beers, but the brewery itself has closed down, unfortunately. But I bought this back in the beginning of 2020.
They weren't looking for a tap room or front of house manager or something, weren't they?
Yeah, the tap room I think is still doing really well, so I think that's okay. But
cool.
Yes,
now
right.
I've got my
You've got your correct glass.
Correct glass.
Oh, I do have a glass for this, but too late.
This one's like meant for the hard pour. I'm hard pouring. Just you can't see it. It's off screen, but it is happening. To give it a minute. But also, and this is I'm kind of ticking off 2 boxes with one.
Yeah.
I've prepared myself a mix of Kahlua, Absolute Vanilla, and coffee, espresso.
You're getting fancy over there.
Yeah, I am.
It's Monday night, people.
Rick did say as I was making it, he's like, cocktails.
Guinness.
That's not beer podcast.
She's living her best life there on a Monday night.
Yeah, well, it started off today that I was like, well, I'm not on Fuck It Monday, so I'm off to a great start this week, because last week every day was like Fuck It last week. And then, this week, the end of today turned out to be a little bit Fuck It, but it's all right. So I'm just going to top up. I've just decanted most of that mix into there. I'm just gonna
Most of your cocktail mix.
Most of my cocktail mix that I handmade myself. And I'm just going to top it up in there. Boom. We'll see how that is in a minute, but we're going to go back to our regularly scheduled programming first.
Yeah, tell us about your beer goals, please, Tori.
Right, my beer goals. So my first one was that I wanted to get more personal with the podcast. So I kind of measured that by saying I wanted to kind of have more in-person visits and go to more spots together. So yeah, like we've already recorded at least 2 proper episodes together in person. We did the Elusive Brave Noise and the beer verticals, the aged beers. And then we did a whole bunch of bonus content, which was fun. And what I think is great is obviously this is March. We're mid-March at the moment, we're not recording it too early, but mid-March, we've already seen each other 3 times, like once a month so far. And I kind of feel like as a completionist now, I'm like, I feel like we should try to see each other 12 times, like once a month. Yeah. I think probably towards the summer that will be difficult because of just you having to do hop tours and stuff. But like if we can balance it out and do like multiple times in a month, we can kind of get there. Yeah. The completionist in me feels like I need to.
This is one of those things, I think, where people are going to be like, what do you mean you're going to see each other like once a month? Like, people assume that we like live near each other and we see each other all the time.
2 hours away.
We live very far apart. Like, you know, well, relatively.
It depends.
Like,
if
not like
from the US and we say 2 hours.
Right, that's not very far. But like, it's not like I'm just going to pop over to Tori's house. Like,
yeah. We have to plan if we have like, oh, we want to do this like in-person thing, or we want to have like a beer sharing night or whatever, like that has to be planned in advance. Like we can't just spur the moment and be like, what are you doing tonight?
No,
let's go to the tap room, or let's share some beers. So
and she's like, I'm going to the Hive, and I'm like, boo.
That was on my list. That was on my list of like, we did visit the Hive together. We've been to Mirakai together already, and Elusive and Siren and Sheffield together. We just came back from Sheffield. Like we didn't go together, but we were there together. So yeah, that was one thing. That was cool. That's my number one. So I think if I'm rating myself there, I think we're doing pretty good with that. And I think we'll keep that up.
I think so.
My second one is go to Oktoberfest, because I feel like go to actual Oktoberfest. Yeah. Because I feel like the last few years we've done like variants of the episodes, like kind of first we did like an overall Oktoberfest one, and then we had like a women focused one, and then last year we did something a little bit different as well. So I think it'd be really cool to actually get to go there in person. I'm kind of worried that I might not get to if my holiday travel plans go as I'm hoping they do for this year. However, I did tell Rick, and he was like, now we can make that work. Oh. So he's definitely down to do it as well. Obviously, we're not going to go, we'll do like a weekend. Either the first weekend or the last weekend, depending. But we think we could potentially make that happen. And if not actual Oktoberfest in Germany, which I'm hoping I get to do, and hopefully it will be when you're there potentially as well. We'll see.
So I think we're going to be there a little bit earlier, and I think we're going to go to Guillemoose instead.
Oh, all right. Sorry, the cool kids are going to the other place, but that's fine. But yeah, I might get to do that this year, so that'll be fun, or at least an actual event this year, because I've not gone to an actual event. So yeah, that would be cool. That's my number 2. So again, that's not really ticked off, but it's way too early in the year for that. So we'll see how that pans out. Another one was that I wanted to see, this was out of my control, but I really wanted to see the people that we're friends with in the industry really sort of pop up their own locations, and then as part of that, get to go visit those locations. So we're really hoping, for example, that the physical location for Mirakai, the tasting room, opens up and we can go see them there. And I want to go see Tartarus's tasting room, and really hoping like to hear Echo gets their own tap room and stuff like that. I just kind of, again, this is really out of my control, but I wanted to see who was going to pop up and have actual physical locations by the end of the year that we really enjoy supporting, and then get to go see those places. So one out of the two specific places, I mean, we've gone to the brewery for Mirakai. We just need to wait for them to open their physical location, and then I'll definitely be there. Tartaru's a bit more hard because it's a bit further away, so kind of harder.
Yeah, I feel like we need to like work that in when we're going somewhere else.
Yeah, I did promise a friend of ours, Helen, that we would maybe take a girls' trip up there for a weekend. So maybe when we go up there, if you join me up there, maybe we'll see. So that's my number 3. Then I've got my number 4, which is continue to get my hands dirty, like hands-on in the industry. I measured that by wanting to do at least 2 brew days in person, and as one of the things there, and I wanted to go to at least 1 bottle share, and I wanted to volunteer at least 1 festival. So yeah, I did. So far I've done 3 brew days. So in two months,
that one.
What was funny was in 2 months I did 2 brew days. In 3 months I've done 3. So we had Brave Noise with Elusive in Elusive in January, then Brave Noise with Miracle in February, and then International Women's Collaboration Brew Day in March. Although I say that, I feel like for International Women's Collaboration Brew Day, I kind of took a step back because I wanted to let other people who had never had the opportunity to do it, whereas like, again, I'm talking about how spoiled I am. I've just done 2. With the first 2 months, I was sort of like, yeah. But I'll count it because I was there for it, so that was cool.
I got stuck in at mine because we were at Burnt Mill and they've got a big kit. So it was fun playing on the big kit.
I think it's difficult because the way... We can talk about this like another time, but the way that Double Barrel's set up, it's kind of a little bit hard to get too many people involved just because of the way it's set up, but... We'll talk about that on it. Maybe we'll have a International Women's Collaboration Brew Day episode. We'll see. So yeah, that's my 2 brew days. My festival volunteering is obviously I've gone to 1 as an attendee. Haven't volunteered at any yet. Always keen and happy to volunteer, assuming I can get to it relatively easy. So
technically, we're not even into the swing of beer festival season yet. So
it's true. That's why I'm not really holding that one too hard, but I am just saying if you need volunteers, like, let me know. And then, the bottle share, I've done 1, potentially 2, actually, depending on what you count. So the first one I had was in January, but that was just kind of having a friend around. And between me, Rick, and our friend, we sort of went swap bottle for bottle. So if you count that, because I did share bottles with a friend, that's 1. And then I had a proper one at the end of Feb where there were some absolute bangers. I got to try like Bourbon County and amongst other really, really good things. So yeah, that's done, tick. So really I feel like, again, the only thing there is the volunteering side of things. I've done at least 1 bottle share. I'm pretty happy. So now I'm just kind of counting how many of each of these things I get to do. We'll see where we get to at the end of the year. And then my last one, which I feel like is the saddest one, I have not been doing so great on this, is the keep on top of my admin and my creativity. Which is basically keep on top of my Untapped posts. And I'm like, meh. I've got like about a month or so built up now. Because that's the problem when I go to a beer festival. It's like you try so many different things, you do so much, you take so many photos that just fucks your backlog up. And having so many events close together, like International Women's Day, and then that, and then I had a work do where I had it at a brewery, so it was like too many, just too much. So yeah, I'm definitely behind on that. Publish more content. I'm happy that I got my Greece content out of like my trip. I did a two-part Greece thing on my blog, and that was cool. But I've got some ideas that I've started typing out, and I just haven't finished. But they're really what I think are really good ideas. It's just I get exhausted and then I just don't do it. I don't finish it. But I have done like 2 TikToks this last week. So
yeah, you have.
Go me
putting that out.
So I'm trying. I would say this one's about like I feel like 50% on it. Like meh. Like I've stuck on the Untapped, but and I've not been so great at publishing blogs. But the intent is there, and I'm getting myself in a position where I have the info for the content. I just haven't made it. So that's mine. How about you?
So I believe I said I wanted to visit more places. Considering I've just done like 3 events in 2 weeks. I think I'm doing alright with that one. Went to Indie Beer Feast, went to International Women's Collaboration Brew Day, and I went to Bristol earlier in February actually, and at the end of February, and also went back and visited the Good Measure and went to their International Women's Day bottle share. It was really lovely talking to other women homebrewers. It was really interesting because, like, I'd tasted my beer the night before and I wasn't. It was drinkable. I was like, it's not come out as well as I would have liked it to. And it's funny that we all kind of turned up and said that, and then when we shared it around, everyone was like, "Oh no, this is really great." So I think that's really kind of indicative of what we are like as female brewers and, like, women who are in the beer industry and in the beer community. That's kind of just, we don't really believe in ourselves. And I'm now purely guilty of it as well. So
that's the takeaway. It's like, believe in yourself.
Right. But we all kind of supported each other and it was a really lovely event. So I enjoyed that. So I'm definitely getting to visit more places, which is great. I also said to keep on top of my beer stash. I don't know if I'm doing that. Like, considering we put another beer order in this morning between us.
I was doing really good. Like, I'm not gonna say on audio. I don't want any evidence of it. But, like, I was actually doing really well. And then we were like, hey, bro, we gotta go put some podcast orders in.
Yeah, we
had and also, like, there was some podcast and then kind of, like, sort of like a podcast / kind of not that we had to put in. And that went in as well. And then I was like, well, fuck. So that's sort of for me as well.
Order, right?
I really was actually doing really well. I made a lot of progress in the last 3 months. And then that's just gone out the window. And I feel like I'm going to be in trouble all over again by the end of this week.
I mean, keeping on top of my stash, I am keeping it on a spreadsheet so I know what I've got and where it is. I'm keeping on top of it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely got that.
I am, however, keeping on top of my Untapped check-ins. I am currently up to date, I believe. And I did check in some when I was actually somewhere so that I could add the location, which is something that I really wanted to do this year because, like, we looked at our results this year, the end of last year, and it said that I hadn't been anywhere because I hadn't checked in any locations. So I'm trying to keep on top of that. And I did that. I'd say with my Indie Beer Feast, I got half of it checked in the right place and half I did when I got home. So we're getting there. For Q1, I think that's a good start.
I'm going to catch up, I promise.
Yeah. You still got
I have also checked in ones where I was there, but then I'm also a little bit spoilt where I can search for some of the, like, some of the local places to me I can search for. Like, they'll come up easily enough. It's just, like, the further away ones. Yeah. Like, if I'm travelling and I'm somewhere else, it's like, yeah, that's not happening. Yeah. So, yeah, that's a bit of, like, balls. But, yeah, I'll get there.
I think we're getting there.
I think what we agreed as well, now correct me if I'm wrong, but we sort of agreed, we're not going to go over it now because this will be something for the end of the year, but what we agreed we were going to kind of track as a, between us, was we were going to sort of look at the beer festivals that we've attended and just overall events that we've attended, and we'll kind of give a highlight of those at the end of the year. I'm going to sort of look at the new venues that I've visited, just like a place that I visited for the first time. I've started making notes on that already, as well as like the proper blogs that I publish and stuff like that. But yeah, we've got our significant, we also want to kind of highlight our significant podcast related things, which we've already got a few things in there which are really cool, but we can't really talk about some of them yet. And like I said, this will be good for an end of year wrap up. But I mean, is there anything that that you're keeping track of, like, for yourself for this year that people can look forward to hearing about at the end of the year? That's fair.
I don't think
I love that you're like, I
don't think I'm tracking anything other than what we talked about.
I think that was part of my being good on admin, was like last year, I was like so shockingly bad when we got to our end of year episode that I was like, I really didn't put any of this stuff anywhere. And then that's when I kind of did my blog post about holding myself accountable. And that was strictly because I know that at the end of the year, I really struggled to have anywhere I could go back. Whereas like, I think that you have like a really good, like you do a lot more, you make an effort to do more content. So like for you, it's probably a lot easier. For me, it's like, I take all the photos and I do all the things and then I don't always make the content. So at the end of the year, I will forget what I did 3 months ago, let alone 6, let alone 12. So I've started kind of making myself a list in this Google Doc so that I can come back to it. And so some of the stuff I've tracked will be for us. So we can give a highlight at the end of the year. But yeah.
You're a proper, like, this is your project management. Like, you need spreadsheets and lists. Whereas I'm just also, like, I took pictures. And but see, I take TikTok.
Yeah. I take pictures. My problem being that I end up with and Rick has a go at me for this. I end up with so many photos that is chaos. So this is like, for me, I have to have some place to go and put this stuff in,
right?
To go back to, because if not, it's sprawled out across all these different forms of media, and there's no easy way. And you know, my patience is like super low, so for me to go back and cycle through all the photos that I've got, I'm like, no. I would go like 2 minutes and be like, I guess I did stuff, that's cool, Joe, tell me what I did.
I'd have to tell all the things that she did.
I have been really good, actually. I've been doing like a lot of memory things for myself, like taking like printing out certain photos, and it would be exciting to look back at the end of the year. But yeah, I would just say this espresso martini situation I've made is really good, and I'll tell you when we're going to come to it in a few minutes. But basically, I was asked Instagram about like quick, easy beer cocktails you can make. That gets people talking. Like, I've gotten more responses to that than a lot of other stuff recently, and I'm like, I love it. So Instagrammer the White Fox Home Pub basically gave me some ideas and then sent me, they were at Siren recently, and there was some like Siren themed beer cocktails, which happened to work perfectly because I knew I was going to have this hardcore broken dream for the reason that we're going to talk about soon. And one of them was a broken dream, the broken martini. And it was basically an espresso martini where they've added broken dream to it. So I was like, I could do something similar to that. And it tastes really nice, actually. I was not sure how it was going to work. I've got some other things I'm going to play around with as we go. But not a bad way to start.
Well, so this brings us quite nicely into another area that we are playing with this year. And we found, I found it, and I went, Tori, let's do this. It looks fun. We found a beer challenge for the year called Drink Harder 2023. I don't know how I feel about Drink Harder, but you know.
Yeah, I don't think we're like a fan of the name of it per se.
But you know, we didn't come up with it, so yeah. I think it's more a different ways to make sure that you're trying lots of different beers is what this challenge is about.
It's not how we would phrase it, but it is. We get what the general sentiment was.
It's from Katie's Beer School on Instagram, and they have put it together, and there are 24 prompts for you to follow throughout the year. And then they're doing it I think they're doing it like in the tap room or like in their bar or whatever, and people can come in and do bits of these in the tap room, and then there was a list as well of them so that you could do them yourself at home or wherever you are, because these guys are in the US, and keep a track of trying to do all of these 24 prompts. So shall we read through these prompts and see?
Yeah, sure. And I will say that I think some of them are a bit difficult because of the fact, and I think the name I think plays into it as well, like, whereas it is like all of it's because it's in the US. You can do it anywhere in the world, but I do think that obviously like some of it has this like slight like twist towards the US. But I mean, I did ask as well if I could use this when I made my Holding Myself Accountable blog, and they were like super like, yeah, absolutely, go ahead. So definitely go check it out.
I'll put a link to the post, because the post is pinned on their profile, and I will put a link to it so you can go and have a look. Cause there's 2 nice Instagram images of the different prompts, so you can have a go. So prompt number 1: drink a flight at a brewery you've never been to. Have you done that yet, Tori?
I put TBC. No, not yet. However, it's a bit difficult because I did go to Triple Point when I was in Sheffield, and I did get I think I got thirds. I got a few thirds, which typically when you go to a lot of places over here, when they make a flight, they make it out of thirds. Yeah. So I did get enough that it would qualify for a flight, but it's not this there was no, you couldn't order a flight here like you can at other places. So it's do I count that or not? Because I'm thinking it's probably a no, just to give myself a bit of a I could probably say yes, but to give myself a challenge, should I make sure that it's specifically deemed a flight when I order it?
I'll keep that in your back pocket just in case.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll hold on to that.
I mean, there's time.
I don't want to take the easy way out, and we are still so early in the year. Yeah. I feel like if I tick all this off, I'm absolutely fucked. So let's make it really hard, and let's
using the F-bomb a lot this evening. Just
I said it
so
twice.
You know. No, you said it way more. No, way more than that.
I want to. When you edit this, I want to know a count when we get to this.
I'm going to do your count.
I swear it's twice. It's just because I'm from Boston. So yeah, I think let's hardline it, and let's just say it has to be defined as a flight, not just getting enough. Okay. How about you?
I have not yet, but I have earmarked it because we have a plan to go to London in April, and we're going to go to Brew by Numbers. I have not been to the Brew by Numbers brewery yet, so I'm hoping to get a flight while we're there. So that's number 1.
This is exciting.
We're ready, right?
I've been there before as well, so I can't even.
That's right. So I get this one.
Doesn't even count for me.
Number 2. Do you want to do number 2?
Do you want me to ask you? Yeah, I'll ask you number 2. Number 2. Drink a beer that has been in your fridge the longest.
Right. So this is quite difficult, and this is the beer that I'm drinking this evening. This barrel-aged Snowtop. I had a look through my stash, and I think this is the oldest one that is in my fridge because I bought it just at the beginning of 2020, before we all got locked down and all of that jazz. It is barrel aged, but it is only 6.1%, but it's a winter warmer.
Yum.
I was slightly concerned that because it's only 6.1%, it might be oxidised, but actually, it's all right. Still quite malty and nice, so that's all right. So tick that one off. I have barrel aged Snowtop from Old Dairy.
Well, it probably comes as no surprise that I followed suit, and the one that I am drinking is my Siren. I don't really know. Basically, I think I probably actually might have had the thing that was in my fridge the longest already, but it's really difficult to tell. That's why I have this handy dandy spreadsheet, and I basically the math
highly
I did.
recommend a beer sesh spreadsheet.
To be fair, everyone's going to be like, "Oh, what a bunch of nerds!" But it's really helpful when you're doing a podcast as well, because it helps you be like, "I have this. Don't drink this until the podcast," and you can
Mine's color coded.
Yeah, I'm not. You just took the piss out of me for being like, "Oh, you're so organised. You've got these spreadsheets." Mine's just basic.
I've color coded it because I'm very visual, but I'm a very visual person rather than just a list. So I've got colours on. This is a beer that you can drink anytime. This is a podcast beer. This is a beer that's for content. And now it's pink if it's for my Drink Harder challenge.
Right, I just literally have comments so I can filter. So that's what I do. I label it podcast,
I'd have to read that. No, I just want to look at it and see with the colours. I'm very visual. Wow.
So yeah, I've basically the way I did my math on that was I just looked for what had the oldest best before date. And that it's hard because in the US it's a lot easier, I think, to tell what the oldest thing in your fridge is because they don't label it by best before, they label it usually by canned by date. So you could easily see that, whereas I just had to go with what had the soonest the oldest expiration date. And
I was concerned that I'd actually drunk the oldest thing the other week, and then thinking about it, I definitely bought that after I bought this, so I think I saved the right one. It's okay.
I had a sip of I saw a TikTok that some guy did the other day. It made me laugh so hard because he was like, I don't remember what it was, but it was something like, it's unlabeled, what is this in my shelf Thursdays or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And he just was like, I'm grabbing an unlabeled bottle of whatever's there, and I'm just going to drink it because it's probably expired and gone off. And before I bid it, I'm just going to drink it. And it's like, here's a, like, it looked like a wine bottle, and it was unlabeled. And he's like, here's an unopened bottle of, I think it's wine. I don't know. And then he just cracked open. He's like, I think it's a wine my friend made. And then he like opened it and he had a sip and he's like, tastes like flat grape juice. And he was like giving tasting notes on this like
Brilliant.
really old bottle that he had, this unlabeled bottle. So I kind of did that the other day where I was like, I cleaned out the beer fridge and I was getting rid of these like really old Lagunitas that we brought back from the US literally so long ago, like pre-COVID. I'm fairly certain it was like,
Wow.
I'm fairly certain it was pre-COVID, if not like, no, it had to have been pre-COVID. And I was like, I should probably dump these because they are like, I got them in a pack. And then when I was in the US and I was like, well, I don't want to throw the rest of them out. I'll just take them back with me. And then they've been sat in my fridge just as like barbecue beers.
Yeah.
And then the older they got, the more no one wanted to drink them. And I actually had a sip the other day. It wasn't that bad. So, and this is not bad. This old beer, not bad. Good.
Right, so I just want to draw your attention to the fact, I don't know if you've got the Word document version of this open, but there is a little note at the bottom of the Word document version that says, no double dipping, use different beers for each prompt.
Oh, that's fine. I can cover that, babes. I've got it.
Okay,
I've
good.
got...
Because...
Woo! I've got...
Okay, cool.
Alcohols in different area
Because
codes.
I
We're
was
good.
then like,
No,
you've
don't
just
worry.
done a beer cocktail with the same beer. So that might not count.
No, I'm also doing a beer cocktail. Don't worry.
Okay, cool.
I've got it
I
covered.
didn't want you to feel like you've wasted that opportunity there.
Nope. I just thought I'm opening it anyways. Might as well give it a go.
Cool. So that's that one. We both had our oldest beer this evening. I think number 3 is going to be hard for me. I might have found a way around it though. And I'm slightly jealous that you're going to go to the US and do this one without me. And it is drink each beer out of a mixed pack. We don't tend to have mixed packs like that over here.
It's difficult because again, because this is US centric, like obviously this is why it's a lot easier. So like just to explain, in the US you tend to get a lot. I think over here you can buy single cans a lot easier than you can buy single cans at liquor stores and like maybe tap rooms a bit different because when you go to a tap room or a brewery, like that's fine, but liquor stores, supermarkets, bottle shops, whatever you want to call it, in the different states, like that tends to be, depending on where you go, harder to get single bottles compared to here where usually it is single bottles, single cans. You don't tend to get like a, you know, this person like Sam Adams will be like Sam Adams summer pack, and then it will be like a 12 pack that has, in the US obviously, a 12 pack that has like all the top summer jams of beer.
Yeah, and it's usually
then
like
it'll be like
6, and it's two of 6 different ones or something.
Yeah, or like 12 and it would be like 4 of 3 different ones, whatever, like that kind of stuff. Whereas over here you don't really do that. But I guess the thing is, I think you can get like, over here you can get like mixed boxes. Do we allow that, even though that's kind of a little bit different to what the
this is my
variety
plan.
pack is?
This is my plan. So
Okay,
we were previously talking.
I'll let you go first.
About,
this is good.
Yeah, so we previously talked about how we haven't, because that's in the bonus episode. So we signed up for Bruiser for a particular reason. Head on over to Ko-fi to hear what that reason was. But you cancelled your subscription, and I've carried mine on. So for my April box, I've picked a box that's going to have 8 beers in it from a brewery, and that's going to be my mixed pack. Because it is a mixed pack of beers from the same brewery.
It is. I think it's harder for you to get it, so I'll allow this. Because to me, that's not my idea of a
You'll
mixed
allow
pack.
it, yeah, but that's not. We don't have mixed packs over here. So unless you're gonna go get me a Sam Adams mixed pack and bring it back for me.
No, well, I can get you I can get a mixed pack.
I mean, you
try
could,
it while I'm over there and bring
me
you
the other
back.
I mean, I have a solution in case you can't do that. In case you can't fit it in the suitcase.
It's it's quite easy in the sense of as well, like usually some of the mix packs, it's not just 12 or 6, like sometimes it's literally 4. So the artisanal ales I got last time, which was like snow cone flavors, or you can get, I think I brought you one back, maybe I didn't, the sour warheads ones. I tried
you did not bring those back for me.
I maybe didn't bring them back. It wasn't.
Yeah, because you didn't like them, so you didn't bring them back.
It just wasn't like suitcase space worthy, like with everything else I had to bring back.
You bought me a Sam Adams and a pumpkin.
I did.
Sam.
I did indeed.
I mean, I will always take any version
those.
of Sam Adams beers, always. So
that's what you wanted over this. Like, it was all right. But I think like something like that, it's a 4-pack, and they're each one different, so it's like I can easily kind of get something like that. So yeah, I guess for me that's my plan with the variety mix pack. It's just going to the US,
I will not turn it down.
Maybe get a 4-pack where the 4-pack's 2 and 2. Then I try 2 and I bring you back.
Just bring 2 back for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna do my bruiser version just in case.
At least you'll have that, and then you can always like delete and
and I can be like, that's what's happening for now, but we might take it out and redo it.
Yeah, exactly. Number 4, drink a lineup where each beer starts the letter of your name and you can spell your whole first name. Did you do Joe or did you do Joanne?
No, I did Joanne.
I did Victoria because I was like
full Victoria.
Yeah, because I felt like that's royal. I felt like Tori just felt a little bit too.
I said to Gordon today, I
like to live life on hard mode and then complain about living life on hard mode.
I was like, if Tori just does Tori, that's only 4, whereas mine is 6.
So that's it. So I thought that was unfair because I thought if you do Joe, that's not that's like
no, that's not my name.
Dead easy. And then I was like, yeah, exactly. And then I was like, nickname. Let's not do nicknames. That feels like it's cheating. So we did full. So do you want to give yours first?
Yeah, so I have, like, this is where the spreadsheet comes in real handy because I then just nipped through, she says, sat there today while I was off work, just having a fun time going through my beer stash, found beers that I've got that spell out my name. So luckily I have 6 beers that spell out my name. I went with, because I was debating this, I didn't know whether I wanted to do it via brewery name or whether through beer name, and I've gone beer name. So, for J, I've got Jormungandr from Loki.
Okay.
For O, I've got Obi-Wan Cannoli from Brew York.
I don't know why, because I was about to be like, did you mispronounce that? Even though you didn't, but in my head, when I heard cannoli, I was like, that's not the same.
Because that's what the beer's called.
I know,
it's a cannoli beer.
I know, I don't know why that caught me by surprise, because immediately I stopped myself like, no, that's the right name.
For A, I've got Apple Sour from Port City. For the first N, I've got Nanola IPA from Wild Beer Co. from their 10th anniversary box. For the second N, I've got Ninth Wave from White Hag that came out of an advent calendar.
Nice.
And then for E, I've got Espresso Berry Teeny from Yonder.
Nice.
I've got a nice mix of different beers there.
So this was like originally when I started doing this, I was like, I'm guessing it's not just, because it just says beer that starts your name, and I was like, I'm guessing it's not styles, because that would be really fucking hard.
That would be really hard.
And then I was like, I'm also guessing it's not just breweries, because that could be really difficult. I'm glad that we did the same thing. I was like, I'm just gonna go with beer names, because we haven't actually like conferred to be like, what have you been measuring on? Because I also did like names. I didn't go through my beer list for this though. Like, I didn't pick things. I didn't pick to drink things to fill my name out. I just happened to, and this is like probably not a great thing to admit, just in the last 3 months.
You've just gone through the beers and you've got all the letters of Victoria? Really?
Yep.
Wow. I don't think I'd have got the letters of Joanne out of the beers that I've drunk in the last 3 months.
I didn't think so, because I was like, V, what the heck?
What did you get? Tell us which ones you had.
So V was Viewfinder, which was the Unity, again, RIP, thoughts and prayers there. Mm-hmm. The Unity Raspberry, Basil and Spelt Sour.
Okay.
I was In Waves, which was Amity and Vault City Mojito Sour that we did for the podcast.
So
it was like, cool. C was Cocoa Cannonball by Closet Brewing Project. That was
I still got mine of that. I haven't drunk it yet.
No, I had mine because I was like, I can't wait anymore. And then I was like, oh, sweet. Like, I had already picked it out.
Yeah.
And then I was like, sweet. That works for C. That's great. But I didn't do it. I'd already put it in my bag, like, to go and take to where I was going to drink it. So I just wanted to make sure I had a dark beer when I was going where I was going. So, T, I had Tamaki 2 from Pomona Island, which was plum in the hojicha sour.
Nice.
Actually, like, genuinely amazing. Obviously, I got it because it's, like, very Asian, and I was like, hell yeah, I want this.
Odds.
Like, label-wise, name-wise, ingredients-wise, like, I'm for this. And then it wasn't until today where I was like, shit, I'm not sure if I've got everything for my name. I was like, I had Tamaki too. So, yeah, I had that. O, I had On the Bounty from Neptune, and that was the chocolate and coconut stout. R, I had Relays from Double Barreled, and that's a stout. And I had that when I was there for International Women's Collaboration Brew Day. So I've got 2 for I because I kind of wasn't sure how you would count this. So I had 3 Fontenaine, which was Intense Rude, which was like, it's like an intense red, but that, like, it doesn't have a name, so I didn't know, and that's just what's there. Like, that's its name.
But that's the name.
But so I was kind of like, so I wasn't sure because I was like, I wasn't sure if you would count that as the name or like if there was some.
Yeah, because I mean, if it hasn't got a, like, if they haven't given it like a crazy name, it'd be the same as like if you had, you know, a bitter. Like,
I was thinking
I had best bitter
when you go to Unbarred.
Yeah,
I was thinking like when you go to Unbarred and they're like, oh, it's a grapefruit sour,
right.
or something like that. Like, that's how I treated it. But then I was kind of like, I don't know if that's cheating. So I also had If You Want to Be My Lager from Double Barrel, but that one wasn't as fulfilling because I already used them elsewhere.
Yeah.
So let's just go with Intense Rude. That's a good one. Okay. And then A. So this is one that I actually, the last A, the only A, but the last letter. I have held on to this one for like a little bit, and I finally opened it the other day, which was A Right to Rome, the St. Mars the Desert Coal Ship IPA.
Oh, yeah.
So I was sort of like, oh, I know this is like, I didn't buy it this year, but also I drank it this year.
I think that still counts. You drank it, so it counts.
Yeah. So I don't know what your plan is. I think
that's
going
impressive.
forward... I know, thanks. Thank you.
I haven't drunk any of these yet.
I literally didn't even, like I said, I didn't even plan it. Like, it wasn't like I was like, shit, I need to get my name things in. Because I was like, I've got the whole year. I just happened to do them all. And when I was speaking to you earlier today, I was like, I don't think I've done all of them. And then I started going through and was like, I've done it. I think from here, my plan for me is I'm going to move to my middle name. And then I'll move into my surname. And then if I manage to do that before the end of the year, I'll have to figure out if I go into maiden name, maybe. And then if I go into that, maybe brewery name. I don't know. But I will, at that point, I'll probably drink too much. So I'll just, I don't know. We'll figure out when I get there. Maybe I won't get there. What about you? Are you going to start working?
I mean, I hadn't planned to, but maybe I will now.
I just do it for fun.
I'm doing my middle name. That's Elizabeth. That's really long.
Victoria's quite long, to be fair.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I should have just stuck with Tori, but I did it.
I was saying to Gordon, I was like, I don't know if she's going to do Tori or if she's going to do Victoria.
Definitely doing the whole thing. Cool. So next one, buy a stranger's beer and split a bottle with, or split a bottle with a stranger. Do you count a beer share, a bottle share, whatever? Because it says like with a straight, like it suggests that it's kind of like with a random, like the way it's written suggests that it's
I
one
wouldn't
person
take
at
it
random.
as a completely random person. I think if you're at a bottle share and you share a beer with somebody that you've not met before, I think that counts as a stranger.
It's interesting. It's like, buy a stranger's beer. Like, I'm going to walk up to someone and be like, that looks good. Here's a £5. Can I have that, please?
I mean, it's a way of like meeting a new beer person, isn't it, when you're at somewhere?
No, definitely. But yeah, it will be. Should we just say like obviously it's up to us to do it. We don't have to do everything on hard mode. We could just be like, yeah, bottle share counts, but let's just say it doesn't count if it's like your friends. Yeah, like so it has to be with random.
Yeah, so I was thinking, because I've been to a bottle share with my bottle share group, but I've only been once this year so far, and that one I already knew all the people, so that doesn't count because I knew everyone. If someone new joins the bottle share or someone comes that I've not been there with before, that counts as a stranger, and then it counts.
See, I think it depends. Like, if I've not spoken to that person, if I don't make an effort to speak to that person and get to know that person, and I don't remember their name by the end of the night, I'm not going to count it. Because I think it's got
to be a way of meeting a new person, hasn't it?
Exactly. That's why I was like, if it's like I've gone to bottle share with the people that I know, and then someone new comes, but I'm sat at a completely opposite end of the table and I've not made conversation. Like, I kind of feel like I don't want to count that because that's not accomplished what I think this is set out to accomplish. But I think if you've made conversation, even if you don't remember their name, that was me being like pedantic. But like, if you've made conversation, you've had enough of a conversation. Yeah. I feel like that counts.
I agree.
But yeah, I've not done this one yet either.
Yet to be accomplished. Right, number 6. Drink a beer from 10 different countries.
So I think I've done it if we're willing to count.
You think you've done it already?
If we're willing to count England and the UK, because it's 10 different countries to each other. Not
you can't count
from
England
where you
and
live.
the UK.
No. What I'm saying is, like, if we're counting all the countries in the UK as their individual countries,
you can do that.
Then yeah, I've done it.
Already? Yeah. I didn't even think about looking at what I've drunk already. I've made myself a list so that I'm ready of beers that I've got that I'm going to drink.
Done it. So
okay,
I've
go on then.
done
Overachiever. Golden
England,
Bennett.
like obviously England, Scotland, and Wales.
So
if we count those,
I've taken England off of my list because I thought that was too easy.
So that's why I was like, do I count that? But then Scotland's
please go through your list
easy because I love Scottish. I love fucking Scottish breweries. So
I will
that's
adjudicate.
That's another F.
I mean, I've got Scotland on my list, so Scotland is allowed.
Okay, so I've done England, Scotland, Wales. I've done Belgium. I had Cantillon.
Yeah.
USA, I had KCBC and Anchorage.
Okay.
I've done Ireland because I've had White Hag.
Mm-hmm.
I've done South Africa because I've had Tulakazi.
Yeah.
I've done Norway because I had Lervig.
Yeah.
France because I had that Saint Nabor de Hiver that you brought me. So I had that one. And then I have done Sweden. I had Omnipolo.
Okay.
That's 10. If you don't want to count England, then that's less. But I'm going to just keep going, and I'm going to see like how many I come up with at the end of the year. What have you managed to?
So I haven't looked back whether I've ticked it off. I just made a list so that I'm ready because I'm using this as a bit of a stash buster. So I've got 10. I kicked out England because that was too easy. So
it's too easy. Yeah.
Number 1, Czech Republic. I've got a Bavara Reserve. 2, Ukraine. I've got a Back to Black from Varvar. 3, Belgium. I've got Duvel 666. 4, Scotland. I've got Squirrel from Fierce. Number 5, France. I've got Lupalia from Galabir in France. 6, I've got Estonia, and I've got 2 different Pohila beers. So I've got Cosmos or Baltic Porter Day from 2022, I think it is, to drink. I've got Norway. I've got House Party from Lervig. Germany. I've got a bunch of German beers. So I'm just going to drink one of those.
I have so many Belgian ones.
I've got so many Belgian ones as well. US, I've got either Great Notion or Ra or Burley Oak. So I'll see which one I'll try first. And then number 10, I've got Ireland. I've got Rye River. I've got a couple of beers from Rye River.
You've definitely already ticked off some of these because some of these, like Anchorage, we had together already.
Right,
so, like,
and I didn't even look. I didn't look back at what I'd already drunk. I was just like, this is what I've got in my stash to drink, and I'm going to tick it off from there.
That's an interesting approach because, like, I've just done it by like now I'm just kind of seeing how many different countries I could get. I guess the question for me as well is like, are you going to count it if it's a collab brew or does it need to be the main brewery?
No, if it's a collab, it can still count.
Because Varvar, I had Goats for Ukraine.
Ah.
And that was a Varvar collab.
Was it which brewery was it brewed at though?
Holy Goat, I think.
Yeah, see, that it's Scottish.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, I think it can be a collab. So, like, for me, I'm like, it can be a collab, but it has to be the main. For me, I want it. And again, we can hold ourselves to our own, like, whatever we plan for ourselves. For me, I think I'm going to do it where it has to either be the main brewery or only that brewery. Like, I don't want it to just be like, oh, it's easy, I got this one from down the road, and they happen to... Because I could just literally have a siren and be like, oh, Mavka, I've got Varvar ticked off sort of thing. I
Yeah,
do
no,
have
that
a
doesn't count.
Varvar. I just haven't cracked it yet because it's the sweet wine of mine or whatever it is.
Oh,
where
I
it's
drank that
like
at Christmas. It was lovely.
I've held on to that because I'm waiting for the right moment, and I'm like, I do actually have just a straight Varvar one. So I'm like,
Yeah,
I do actually
I've
have
got two.
Ukraine. You reminded me of that.
I've got 2 Varvars left, but I picked one of them. So I have a list ready to go.
Cool,
number 7 should be really easy because it's buy a beer made for charity or a cause.
I literally wrote easy peasy brave noise.
Right, brave noise. Done. Tick that one.
That is good. Number 8. Like, I feel like we talk about that so much we don't even have to.
Yeah, I don't even have to qualify that one, do we?
No, I think we've qualified it enough.
Yeah.
8. Drink an old favourite you haven't enjoyed in a while.
I can't decide what I want to do for this one.
Oh, what are your options?
Well,
Hang on,
I
I just
feel
want
like-
you to know. I'm resetting. I'm cracking a Caribbean chocolate cake from Science, the Nitro one.
Nice.
I'm going to have that, and I'm going to try putting in a shot of Malibu, because when I asked the question, Kath from Attic was like, try an Imperial Stout, throw in some Malibu, and then you have yourself like a bounty.
Yeah,
So I
that
was
sounds
like,
nice.
I'll give that one a go. So I'm going to try that one.
That sounds really good.
That's my next one now.
Yeah, I can't decide whether I want to get a Sam Adams. I haven't had a Sam Adams in a while. Or whether I want to try and find something like one of the beers that I had like early on in my journey and see if I can drink that now. Because I had a fair bit of real ale when I first started out, so I could probably find something.
That's fair. I have done... Sorry, I'm getting out my Vault City little thimble shot glass.
Nice.
To do my shot of Malibu. I don't know how this is going to end up. We're going to friggin' find out. I said Looper from Full Circle because I had it at the Rutland Arms and I had it on cask. Never had it on cask before, so that was really, I was like, whoa. And I really love Looper because it's super fruity and it's beautiful. So yeah, that is what I've done. Tick that one off.
Right, number 9. Get a growler filled at a brewery. I need to buy a growler first.
Do you not have one?
No, because there's not really anywhere near me that fills growlers.
I
So-
know what your birthday present is going to be. Sorry.
There we go. Duns.
Done. Yeah, got your birthday present sorted.
And you get growlers filled at Siren all the time, I
I
assume.
have 3 growlers. I've got a 2 litre,
Right.
and I think actually I might have 2 litres. I don't talk about one of them, but I've got one of them I have as a 2 litre that is a Siren one, and then I have a 1 litre double barreled one. And no, I don't. So I haven't had it filled this year, and that is because I tend to do that if we're having like a barbecue.
Yeah.
Or I know we're having people around. For something like that where I might want to like share it, or
Yeah.
I don't want to like pay that much attention to what I'm not that I don't want to pay that much attention to what I'm drinking, but just easy to drink. So I think it's just too early in the year for me to have done that. But give it like Q2 or Q3 and that will be like done immediately. But yeah, now I know what to get you for your birthday.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Now we're getting on quite nicely to what you're doing right now, which is whether a beer mosa or a dark and stale me, enjoy a beer cocktail. Tori is on
I
her
don't
second.
have that version. I don't have that
have you not
version
got
that
the-
you've got.
Have you not got
No.
this? I need to give you the.
No, I took it just from the Instagram. Well,
I'll have to give you the document so you can fill it
I
in.
like
It's good.
I like the commentary on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Beer cocktails. So I just had one, but that didn't count because can't double
It was
up.
It was double dipping on a beer.
So yeah, I'm now having the Caribbean chocolate cake with Malibu, and it smells like Bounty.
Yeah.
Really coconutty. I just like guess proportions, so this could be completely wrong. We can have a sip. Does it work? It works, people.
Yay! See, I just don't have this many
Cue the
different
sound
spirits.
effects. It works. It actually works.
I just don't have that many spirits in my house. Like, it's just all beer.
See, I've got behind me, and you can't really see it because a lot of them are in the cupboard. I've got a lot of spirits because it's normally like we get them all for like to make like one thing, or like we're having family around, we get one thing, and then I get like stuck with all these bottles. So it's Malibu is a particular popular one because that can mix with pretty much any juice. So yeah, big shout out to Kath because yes,
good job, Kath.
That is a winner.
Yeah,
that is a winner. The second that she sent that to me in Instagram, I was like, well, that's gonna obviously have to be the one I try, and it has worked out. I would have never thought. She did say imperial stout. This is just not imperial, but that doesn't matter because I was like, it's a weeknight.
She says on a second big cocktail.
Yeah, but this blends so well. Really impressive. How about you? Have you had a beer cocktail yet?
No, I have not. But I have plans, so it's okay.
We have many cocktail themed beers.
I've had cocktail themed beers. I've not had a beer cocktail.
Well, we'll fix that soon. We'll
fix that. Yeah, it's fine.
11. Enjoy a beer featuring a noble hop, one featuring a US hop, one featuring a New Zealand or Australian hop, and one featuring an experimental hop.
So again, I went through my list to pull out beers because I was like, I reckon I've got these. And I've broken it down a bit more because I feel like that's a bit too easy. So I've given myself a list of a US hop, a noble hop, a New Zealand hop, an Australian hop separately, a UK hop, a South African hop, an experimental hop, and a new technology in hops.
Okay.
And I have beers for all of these. So from a US hop, I've got a beer with Talus in it. From a noble hop, I've got a classic German Helles from Andex. For New Zealand hop, I've got Hops Obscura, which is a New Zealand IPA from World Beer Co. For Australian, I've got Galaxy Crush, which has obviously got Galaxy hops in it, and that's from Brass Castle. For UK, I've got Perennial from Gypsy Hill, which was made with UK hops. From South Africa, I've got an Echo IPA left, so I shall drink that. For experimental, I've got Disturbance in the Fence, which is an India export porter that was staggeringly good. Emperors and Bathhouse X, which has HBC 522 in it. And for new tech, I have the Perfect Circle from Track, which I'm pretty sure had Spectrum in it, which is a liquid hop advanced product.
Right.
Ta-da!
I did not break it down that much, and I feel like when I actually get through all of mine, which I may have probably...
Yeah, you're going to want to do this.
I will probably be like, what's the other ones you had? I need bonus hops. So yeah, I had Noble Hop, I had Konig from Triple Point Brewery, and that was a Dortmundian export lager, and that used Saz. I also wrote some other ones I had, but that was just the one. Let's go with that one. That's the easiest one there. The US one, my comment on there was, this one is so easy it's almost not even worth noting down.
Yeah.
Because I think I've had a lot of US hops, so I was like, we're good.
Yeah,
I don't think we even need to qualify that one. It's happened many times over.
The problem is trying to go through the beers and then being like, has that got New Zealand or no? It's just American. Australian? No, it's just American.
American. Yeah, exactly. So I was like, I'm not even going to dignify that one with an answer. Like, we know I've done it. New Zealand and Australia, I actually have made an effort to break it down, and I think I have had an Australian hop, but I'm not 100% sure yet that if I had it this year or not. So, but I have had New Zealand. I had Elusive's Element, which was a New Zealand Pilsner dry hop with Raka. So, done that. And then experimental hop, again, I don't think I noticed that I've had anything, like nothing that I've actively looked at have I gone, oh yeah, that's got an experimental one in. So I might have had it without realising, but yeah. And then I've got I do have some that have had like interesting new products that I haven't drank yet, but you probably know which one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I've got it, and it'll be, that's a future check-in. Maybe I'll add
we're
that
going to talk about
list. That. Number 12, visit a distillery. Have you visited a distillery
I
this year?
haven't visited a distillery this year, but there is one in Canterbury, so I think I might have to pay that a visit.
Nice. I've been to... What's really frustrating is I've been to... Because of family coming to visit, I've been to the Bombay Sapphire Distillery so many times.
Yeah.
But obviously not this year. And I don't really want to go back for like a fourth time to the
Right,
Bombay
so you need to
Sapphire
come and
Distillery.
visit me.
It's really great. But
Come
it's
and visit
beautiful.
me. We'll go to the Foundry, and they are a distillery and a brewery, so we can go there.
I tried to get dinner reservations there, and the only dog-friendly area was outside, and it was the middle of freaking winter, and it was pissing it down with rain, and I was like, maybe not.
And it's like the outside is literally like 2 seats.
They said they only had like 2 tables, and they were like, and I don't think you want to sit outside in the pouring down rain. And I was like, no, thank you, but thank you. But yeah, we'll have to do that because as much as I highly recommend the Bombay Sapphire Distillery, it is beautiful. The drinks are great. It's in a beautiful location. Everything. I don't think I can go back for a full time. It's too much. It's like Stonehenge. Too much. I'm good. Let us go to number 13, which is drink a beer that you've never had before. That is your favourite style. What did you say for this one?
I'm going to get Saison.
Ooh.
And there may have been a new Saison in the order that I placed today. So I shall drink that.
So I put that I've probably done it. This is really hard for me because I don't think I have a straightforward
what's your favourite style?
I don't think I really have one.
It's
Well, I was talking about this. No, I was talking about this at International Women's Day as well. It was like, if somebody asked me my favourite style, it kind of depends on like the season, my mood, where I am. Like there's certain settings where I prefer a certain type of beer over another type of beer.
Pumpkin beer.
So, okay, I guess that's me, my favourite. Anything with cinnamon in it, I'm like a favourite. I mean, if we're doing that, and if we want to just say anything with cinnamon in it, I had What Mrs. Fisher Knows, which is a peach cobbler sour that was from Double Barreled, and that was absolutely beautiful. It was just gorgeous. I got you a can of it, so I was like,
thank you.
Try this because it's so good. The peach was just so peach. There's like peach and apricot in it, and it was mainly more peach. The apricot was a little bit... I know that you don't get on with apricot that well, but like it was a little bit more... That was just there for almost like a little bit of that tartness, and then like the cinnamon just came in towards the back end at just the right part, and you're like, and it just tasted like cobbler. It was beautiful. But in terms of favourite style, I don't really have one, so this is a little bit difficult for me. So I'm just kind of assuming that by the end of this year, I will have done it. It's a cop-out, but...
You've got to decide what it's going to be.
Let's just go with that one. Yeah, sure. I'm gonna call it that one. Sour. I really like sour. I really like cinnamon. Great.
Okay.
Towards the end of the year, I'll also have pumpkin spice.
Yeah. Right.
This
number
is going
14.
to change every quarter.
This is every quarter. She's going to change your mind on this one. Number 14. Host a themed beer share with your friends.
I haven't done that yet.
No.
Last year I did do an Oktoberfest theme.
Yeah.
Where I made us Lidl do bratwurst and everything. So I got like little bratwurst are actually really, really good. Did that, made cheese, beer cheese dip. Bought some pretzels as well because it was just easier for me with everything else I was doing at the time. And then just bought a whole bunch of like Oktoberfest themed beers. And that was fun. But obviously... I feel like that's kind of the time of year when I start being like themed, but I haven't had anything to theme yet, so I haven't done it yet. How about you?
No, I haven't done that yet. I need to think about that and organise.
Is there anything on your radar that you think that you would go for?
I mean, if it counts that the theme is come and drink my beer so I haven't got so much in my house, I've got one planned for that.
I don't think that counts.
Oh, okay, fine. Then no.
As much as I wish it did, because then we could all have that theme.
Yeah.
That would be brilliant. Cool. Number 15, go on a brewery tour.
I have been on a brewery tour recently. I visited our friend Rachel's brewery that she's at now, Brampton Brewery in Chesterfield. Nice. It was good. It was. I always I've obviously been on a lot of brewery tours, so when I go on a brewery tour, I like to see what new thing they're going to tell me. Brampton Brewery is very small, so you don't actually go into the brewery. Instead, you get to go and sit in their lovely little cosy tap room, which has chairs with actual backs. No big bench.
What?
Right.
Get out.
Right. It was amazing. Actual back support. You get 3 halves. 3 halves. Anything that you'd like. And they do a presentation. So they show you the brewery, how the brewery works. And then they do a bit of a history of the brewery, because they've been brewing on that site as Brampton Brewery since 2007. But actually the brewery itself has a much longer history in Chesterfield, back to the 1800s, and that was really interesting, learning about that and how that kind of shaped the area and things like that. It was really interesting.
Nice. I mean, I'll make it simple. I've not gone on a brewery tour yet. I've got on many brewery tours that I save going on them for like a really special brewery, because it's not that I don't go to them, but it's like you can only hear someone be like, and there's a mash tun, and there's this, and then we do this. Like, you can only hear that so many times before you're like, all right. If it was a friend's brewery, I do as well, because normally you get the free beers that are included in it and everything. But I haven't gone to a lot of places that like you can book in for a tour, and I haven't really travelled to those type of places this year so far. So if I travelled somewhere, I probably would, but
I also had a friend show me around Lost and Grounded. That wasn't a scheduled one though. That was just come and have a look at what we got.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I mean, I don't, I'm not a celebrity. I don't get that. So,
celebrity.
Ask your dad. Your dad will be like, absolute celebrity.
My dad thinks it. My dad came on that tour as well. He loved it.
Yeah, I'm sure I probably will before the end of the year. It's just, I think usually if I'm going to a brewery tour, it's one that I'm travelling to, and I haven't gone anywhere that's been like a proper travel, if that makes sense. So
yeah,
we'll see what this year holds. Next one, I mean, you'll probably tick this off before I can. Bring a friend to a brewery you enjoy that they've never been to.
So I'm going to take you somewhere soon.
You are.
So that counts. I thought you said you'd done it with Rick.
Yeah, but like, so this is the thing. This is what I was going to pose as a question. Does Rick count as a friend?
I mean,
because it's
you've taken him to somewhere that he's not been before.
I have. I took him to Heist. And I was like, I think he'll really like Heist. I'll take him there. I took him to Sheffield. I literally took him to Sheffield to be like, let's go around Sheffield. Here's all these amazing spots. I took him to like Rutland, everything. Yeah. But like Heist, I was specifically like, I feel like you'll really like the vibes there. And so I took him there. But then I'm like, and he is like my best friend. So I'm like, does he count as a friend? But then it's like, yeah, but I'm married to him. So he's kind of like a built-in best friend. So it's like,
I think it still counts. I think it still counts.
I mean, I'll try to also, before the end of the year, take somebody like yourself or somebody else that's our friend, like somebody completely different that I know that I like. Maybe we'll have to go back to Bristol and I'll have to take you to somewhere you haven't been.
I went to New Bristol's tap room the other day.
All right, sure.
It's very busy.
Is it? Yeah, I can imagine.
The rugby was on.
Apparently they've got really good burgers as well. Did you get to Left-Handed Giant Brew Pub and get pizza? Because
I have been there. I had a drink and it was very busy and I left again. I didn't get the pizza. The pizza kept walking past me. It's when I was with my dad.
Oh yeah, you did say.
Yeah.
I'm having another beer cocktail, so
you are on it tonight.
This might not be great. I don't know how this is going to work out, but I am having so I've done again the Nitro Caribbean chocolate cake and salted caramel brownie flavoured cream liqueur from Marks and Spencer's.
Ooh.
Because I'm obviously posh, so had to have that.
You are no povo.
I am not a povo shabad, regardless of what you say about me. Yeah, because Grace Laura Baker said that it makes her want to. My post made her want to try a stout with some Baileys, and I don't have Baileys. I had fake ass Baileys, but it's M&S fake ass Baileys, so I feel like
it's M&S and it's salted caramel brownie.
Yes, exactly. So I feel like kind of counts, although it does look like it's just split going in there. So we'll see how.
Can you just give it
good or
need a
disgusting
cocktail stirrer and give it a stir. Also known as your finger.
Yeah, I can't be bothered to move. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I mean it's not looking good particularly. It looks a bit sad. See how it tastes. Smells nice though. Yeah, that ain't right.
Oh. No to that one, everybody.
No to that one. I mean, maybe real Baileys would be good. Maybe I've kept it too long.
Maybe less. Maybe not a whole shot.
Yeah, maybe. It ain't right. We're going to skip that one.
No, don't do that. Don't do that, everybody.
Malibu.
Malibu and Stout.
I also want to say that Ruth from Elusive said, do like Contro or like triple sec, something orangey with chocolate, and make chocolate orange. And I was like,
you're
immediately
like, absolutely
no.
not. Absolutely not.
I went, that is my nightmare. I'm good. I'm
Absolutely
actually good. But I was like, I'm sure somebody would really like that. That's somebody, not me.
It's not Tori.
But then
Brilliant.
I also had from Kath like a recommendation for amaretto and a brown ale, which I do have, but I'm not going to go get that. I cannot be bothered. I've got too much here. She said that could either work out really good or really not great.
Yeah.
And I really do want to try it.
Let's try that sometime. Yeah,
I'm going to go.
that sometime.
I'm just going to go with more Malibu because it's really good. Anyways, which number are we on?
We are on 17. Drink 2 beers, an original that meets Reinheitsgebot, and a variant that breaks it. I feel like this is a podcast episode waiting to happen.
Yeah, I did put as my note TBC still for this year, but I think this will happen closer to Oktoberfest.
That's true.
That's exactly what I said. So
I think getting something that meets the Reinheitsgebot is going to be easy. Finding it depends on how we want to play it, because if we want to do like the same style with a variant that breaks it, that's where we might have to do a bit of work to find what we want.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, TBC. Watch this
TBC.
space. This could well be an episode on its way to you soon.
Number 18. Attend a beer fest.
Yes, tick. Indie Beer Feast. We've both been.
Yes, we did it.
It was great as well. I can highly recommend Indie Beer Feast. If you've never been, it is great. Please go.
It was really good, and like the vendors there as well. It was just like a lot of really good options.
Yeah.
And then you get to go to Sheffield, which
we love
great.
Sheffield.
So very, very happy with Sheffield in general. Like,
Highly
I always
underrated beer scene.
I always said like, I mean, I think more people talk about it now, but I remember like the first time we went, and I was just expecting it to be like not nowhere to go, but I just thought it was going to be harder. And I think like there's just so many more pubs that look like traditional pubs. And this is what I showed Rick when we were there.
Yeah.
He was like, it just looks like it's going to be a pub on the inside. And then you go in and there's craft beer. And I was like, I know.
Yeah.
And I didn't even get to take him to Shakey's because we went to bed before we even got to Shakespeare's. And like, it's just, there's so much goodness there. So definitely recommend Sheffield Beer Week.
Highly recommended.
Indie Beer Feast.
Yeah. 19. I feel like this is where we're going to
This is going to be really hard. Yeah.
So it's drink a beer that has medalled at FOBAB.
I was really hoping that you would say that instead of spell it out.
At GABF.
I really was like, please say FOBAB.
FOBAB.
I had to Google this. Did you know?
I had to Google it as well. FOBAB is the Festival of Wood and Barrel Aged Beer. And then GABF is the Great American Beer Festival.
Do you think we could replace this with like British awards?
I wonder if we can. I feel like it'd be easier because I had a little scroll through the FOBAB previous winners list, and I'm like, we ain't getting any of these.
FOBAB is like such a fun.
It's good, isn't it? I like it.
Isn't it? FOBAB. Yeah. I looked at FOBAB.
I mean, what would we replace them with?
We could do like 19 point A, 19 point B, and like we could do like 19 point A is FOBAB and GABF, and then 19 point B can be, I don't know, we'll have to figure out what like a good British equivalent would be, but like,
yeah,
I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll pick 2 that are like British awards or UK, full of the UK, or maybe European awards or something like that, and go from there. Because I think that even me going to the US,
I don't think you're going to get them.
Even brings the fact that it feels like that's going to be a real challenge if you don't live near.
Very US centric, and I think we're going to really struggle with that one.
And I'm not willing to fall at that hurdle, so we'll just make something up. Number 20. Drink a whiskey drink, a vodka drink, a lager drink, and a cider drink in one sitting. So, I mean, I love Chumbawamba. I love tub thumping.
Right.
That is a tune. That comes on, I'm up. I'm singing. I'm dancing. I'm into it. Family party, pub, home by myself. I
didn't know this about you. This is something
Love
new
it.
that I've learned about you.
It's a great song.
Tori's
I love it.
tune.
I used to listen to this. I had the Chumbawamba CD as a child. And
Really?
yeah, I actually did.
Wow.
I don't know where I got it from because I don't think I bought it or anyone bought it for me. I think I just inherited
Magically
it
appeared.
somehow. Yeah, and it's not even that song that was my favorite, but that was a really good one. And I would just listen to that on my Walkman. It was great. It came on the other day at work, and I was literally like, is that Chumbawamba? And everyone was like, what are you talking about? And it's the talking bit at the beginning.
Yeah.
When he's like, it says it doesn't matter, but does it bollocks? And then I started to do that, and I was like, it's Chumbawamba, guys! And people were like, what? And then they start going, movies, singing. And I was like, yes, we got this. No, I haven't done this yet.
No. I feel like I don't want to do this.
I mean, I want to do it because great song.
Yeah, but just that combination just sounds horrendous to me.
Could we do it? I mean, we could put a twist on it. We could either do beer cocktails.
Yeah.
Or we could do beer cocktail themed beers.
I mean, we may have these things that we've already got.
I mean,
so
or just have proper cocktails. We could in one sitting though. That's
it's one sitting. I feel like I'm too
we could
old
just
for
share
that.
when we're in person. We could just share each.
We could share one. This feels like a together thing. We're gonna be TBC that when we're together, I think.
Okay, let's TBC.
Yeah.
We're TBCing it already.
Yeah.
Use beer in your food as part of your recipe. That's number 21.
I mean, I do this all the time. I made beer pizza dough not that long ago, so I think that counts.
I used to do beer pizza dough every Friday, and then Rick got really into pizza dough, so I just let him take the reins now. And I do cook with beer, but I just don't do it as much as I used to.
Yeah.
Or bake with beer. I just don't do it as much as I used to do. So I have not ticked this off yet. So
I'm taking that one off, but I might do more throughout the year, so we might add to it.
There you go. Maybe keep track of all the ones you've done. You can give your best recipes.
Yeah. 22. Buy someone a drink on their birthday. I feel like you can do that soon.
I've not done it, but I can do it soon. Yay!
As my birthday comes up first in the year.
Yeah. Who else would I buy a bit
buy a birthday drink for? Rick.
I don't go out that way. Yeah, that's gonna be what it is. It's like Rick. I'll be like, I bought you this thing that I wanted to drink, but
happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Can we open it now?
It's Gordon's birthday before mine, and I was like, I could maybe buy you a drink, and he was like,
No. He was like, please no, we're good. I think for me it'll probably be you. You'll be the first one, the soonest one. Just go with that. I don't know. You're gonna have to figure it out for yourself.
I'm gonna have to figure myself out. I don't know. I'm on my own on that one.
You're on your own.
23. Drink the most and least expensive drink on a menu someplace. I feel like we could do this together.
The thing is, I might have already done it, when I was in Sheffield, but I don't know because I don't look at. This is my problem. Is I don't look at prices.
I feel like
this
just got to be intentional.
What I like. Yeah, exactly.
Though.
This is intentional, and
You've got to go. You've got to go.
This.
This is the least expensive. This is the most expensive. We're buying those. We've got to do it.
Knowing me and my taste. Not even looking at prices. I've probably gone most expensive, second most expensive, third most expensive, fourth most expensive, and then back to the most expensive again. Because I just naturally, I feel like I could close my eyes and point to something, and it would be the most expensive.
The most expensive, yeah.
So I think probably I have to be more intentional about this. I haven't tracked it as far as I know that I've done it yet. So no. Gonna guess you're probably the same.
I haven't done it yet. No. I think I need to go someplace and be like, right, cheapest.
We'll do it together, and it will be intentional.
Yes. Then the last one, 24. Go to a dive bar and drink a beer from a brewery they have a sign for. Where have you done it?
I've done it. Sort
Where did you go?
I mean, because this isn't just craft beer, is it? This is just beer full stop.
Where did you go?
Because not a lot of dive bars are going to have it.
I know dive bars
in Bristol.
Yeah.
I can't remember the name of it, but I did go to a dive bar. I think No, I don't remember the name of it. I know exactly where it is, but I cannot remember the name. I was there for a work do. We were heading back from the work do, and one of the guys... It was so late at night as well. And one of the guys was like, let's just get one more drink on the way back to our hotel. And not just me, there was a group of us. And we were like, okay. And then it was like some faux craft mixed with macro, like full stop. So I was like, I'm just going to have a Guinness. And they obviously had Guinness signage. So,
wow.
yeah.
I feel like that might be one a cop out.
How is that a cop out?
Because I feel like this is really lean. Like, obviously Guinness is macro, but I feel like this really leans towards you've got to have a macro something. And Guinness is like Guinness is a craft person's go-to if there's nothing else good. Like, we still embrace Guinness.
It's still macro. People,
fine.
Weigh in on this. Let me know if that counts. Because I feel like that
Guinness
counts.
Doesn't count.
I feel like it counts. It's just that it's a convenient, easy one that tastes good, and they usually have signs for. It's really hard. Like, we were talking about this. It's really hard to fuck a Guinness up. We were talking about this at the International Women's Day.
I mean, it still can be done. Like, I've definitely had a really bad Guinness before and been like, what did you do?
It's possible, but like, it's really hard to mess Guinness up. Like, you have to really be actively sabotaging.
I don't know though. Do you watch Girl Does Guinness? Have you seen? Is it Girl Does Guinness? Girl Drinks Guinness on Instagram, and she just posts Guinness that she's had in all the different bars, and then she rates them out of 10. She's had some shocking Guinness.
I feel like it's got to be really hard to mess Guinness up.
No, she has a lot of bad Guinness. I'm gonna link her in the show notes. Please go and look at Girl Drinks Guinness, because she's had some bad Guinness. She's had some really good Guinness, but she's had some real bad Guinness too.
I just feel like all the Guinness I've had, it's been more or less the same. So
How often do you have a Guinness?
More than you'd expect that I'd have it. A fair amount, because I feel like if I go out with like family or you know, we end up somewhere that just doesn't have anything, and I'm like, I kind of want a bit, like going on holiday, or you know, airport beers, or British airport beers. I'm like, Guinness. Like, doesn't matter what time of day. I'm like, immediately Guinness. Yeah, I don't know. Guinness is my go-to. I actually, you know, I'm not ashamed. I enjoy Guinness. So,
I enjoy Guinness.
That's mine. Dive bar in Bristol.
Fine.
Guinness. And I wanted to go to bed so hard. And it was 2 a.m. And I was like...
I don't know if that counts.
I had one beer, and that one more beer, everyone else had 4. And me and one of the other, my engineers, we were like, it's 2 a.m. And we're like, why? Let's go to bed.
Madness. Absolute madness. What are you doing up at 2 a.m.?
Not in bed like I wanted to be.
Who do you think you are?
I'm a fucking party animal, mate.
Apparently so.
So, what about you? Have you done it?
No. I've got to find a dive bar first.
I feel like that is exclusive. Like, a lot. If I'm not going to a craft place, this is the thing, is like, Rick and I actually really... Dive bar is our scene.
Yeah.
Like, we are dive bar people. So it's like, if we're not going someplace craft, we're probably going to a dive bar. And that is like the majority. When I started working in Bristol and people were asking for recommendations of places to go, I hadn't really gone out. This was like quite a bit ago as well, and I hadn't really gone out to a bunch of the craft places. And I was like, oh, I don't know, I haven't been to Bristol since there was all just dive bars. And that was like all the places. There's so many great quote unquote dive bars in Bristol.
Right, how do you quantify a dive bar?
I would say there's probably no craft beer on, and if there is, that's like a treat, like you're drinking that. Punk music, rock music, floors are sticky, things are literally run down. It is probably not like, nothing's like brand new. There's probably lots of like repurposed things, and lots of people that I feel like look similar to me and Rick and my friends, with tattoos, piercings, stuff like that. Like, you don't feel like I don't feel out of place at a dive bar. I don't feel like it's too bougie. It feels like it's it's usually affordable. Like, I feel like it's normally not that expensive, and that's really good. But the only thing that's lacking is like the beer selection. Normally not great.
So I would say that my closest dive bar is probably the Lady Luck in Canterbury. It's not run down though. Definitely punk.
It doesn't have to be fully run down.
Right.
I think it's more just like, as long as it's not like this brand new like.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not.
Building.
But it usually does have a couple of good craft options on.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, got to go there then.
Yeah, we'll have to go there.
You have to take me there.
I like the look.
Because that's like when we go away
I don't know
places.
if I've got any signs up though.
Normally we kind of go, where is the place that feels the most like punk rock alternative? Like where does it feel like we're gonna stand out the least? And it's normally places like that. So I'm into that.
I suppose the penny as well. Equally so. I may have options.
That's it. You got to go there, and then you got to see what they've got signs for. But like I said, Guinness was just like the easiest one to do
that's
at a
cheating.
dive bar. I don't think it's cheating, but we'll let the people listening weigh in. If that's cheating,
let us know.
Come at it, let us know.
Did Tori cheat by having
Guinness? Go on a woman's brew on Instagram, and you can let us know if I cheated by having a Guinness, and I'll go and. I'm not having a Bud Light. Like I'm not having a Budweiser. I'm not having.
There
a
is
Bud
a
Light.
line.
That's never gonna happen.
There's a line, and we're not doing it.
Would you count like Beaverton? I don't want that, but like, what is your
tough, isn't it?
like,
I mean, some people would tell you that's craft. I mean, I wouldn't drink it as craft.
I wouldn't. And again, I'd go for a Guinness over that.
Yeah, 100%. Don't know. Ooh, toughie. I suppose it depends if they've got a sign up for it. Then, I mean, are we by sign? I'm like thinking like a neon signage. Or like a
actual
like
behind the bar. Yeah. Signs.
Yeah.
Wow. There we go. That's the 24 things.
Yeah.
That's the 24
I'm
things.
excited. I'm enjoying it.
As I say, I did write that I did have like spots I wanted to visit, 5 spots I wanted to visit, which was Little Pomona, Tasting Room, and Cider Garden and Shop. Sacred Profane Brewery and Taproom, Little Earth Project. They've got a little cottage or a campsite you can stay at, so we want us to do that. All Day Brewing, which has a campsite nearby, and 360 Degrees Brewing, which has a campsite nearby. Not stayed at any of them yet, but those are the places that I want to visit this year, and I am tracking all the places I actually get to visit. So
I would really like to do Little Earth Fest, but I don't know if I'll be able to.
Me too, and I feel the exact same way.
Yeah.
So we'll see how things pan out. I would really like to. I would really like to. As much as I would also like to do Peakender. So Rick's on board for Peakender. I just need to work out logistics and see what we get to. So
yeah, Peakender. I highly recommend Peakender. It is a delight.
That is our Q1 review.
Yeah. Anything you're looking forward to in the next months coming up?
I feel like there's a lot. Like I feel like. Yeah, we're going to go into London. We're going to do lots of... I don't want to give away
let's keep it secret then. Let's not talk about
let's keep it secret. Okay, I was going to say, we're going into London. We're doing a lot of things.
This is future content, so we cannot give it away. Hush, hush.
It's also just like, I also just don't want to say things because then if it doesn't happen, then I look like a dick. So I would rather be pleasantly surprised. I'd rather be pleasantly surprised with all the things that we get to do. But yeah, I think if I have a prediction, I think we'll make it through at least 23 out of these 24 things.
I think so.
We'll do fairly all right. What about you? What do you think?
I think so. I think we're going to do all right. I'm looking forward to festival season. I still don't really know where I'm going when yet.
You probably should know more than me.
I probably should know, but I don't
Your
yet.
job is... that is your job.
TBC. Plans are still happening. Lots of places to go. Don't know when we're going, but it'll happen at some point.
There you go. If people want to follow you in your journey and all the places that you may end up this year.
Because I post the content.
Yeah, you post the content. I do not. We all know that. Where can people go and track what you're doing?
If you want to come and see the places that I'm going and learn some stuff about beer, because I share that as well, you can come find me at my beer school, which is Love Beer Learning, and we're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok and Pinterest. I'm mostly on Instagram and a little bit on TikTok. You can also come to my website, which is lovebeerlearning.co.uk, or you can email me, lovebeerlearning@gmail.com. Tell me the places that you're going to go, and if you see me, come and say hi, because I'm a nice person and I like saying hi to people. Tori, if they want to talk to you about your future plans and whether Guinness counts as your dive bar pick, where can they get hold of you?
I was just going to be like, don't talk to me. I'm not a nice person. I am a mean person, and
she gets really excited and doesn't believe that people actually want to talk to her. So do go and talk to her.
No, don't ruin my image. I'm mean, and no one should speak to me.
Not. It's a lie.
Yeah, if you want to follow me and you want to tell me what counts if it's not Guinness, let me know that Guinness doesn't count. Tell me what does count. And what your idea of a dive bar is, because am I miles off like what everyone else considers a dive bar? You can find me on Instagram at adventures_in_hoptimism, or you can email me at adventuresinhoptimism@gmail.com. I've got my blog that is linked in my bio of my Instagram, which, as we've gone through today, really don't update as much as I should, but I've got lots of really great ideas. I've got lots of great ideas. It will be updated eventually. Or you can reach out to both of us at a women's brew podcast at gmail.com, or on Instagram at a women's brew. And Joe, I think we're also on Twitter, but I don't
Yeah,
go
we are on
Twitter.
We are on Twitter. I probably do a bit more on Twitter now because I'm logged in on my work computer for when I want to check things for work. So I might actually reply to you if you message us on Twitter, but it's highly unlikely. So get hold of us on Instagram instead.
Yeah, so that's cool. Onward and upward. We'll see what Q2 brings us.
Exciting. Cheers.
Cheers.